time, and they never really found their form back from that point. And India, this is a big ask in this tournament, all in all. You know, Coach Matic, he's doing a job, he's developing, hopefully, India into a basketball-mad nation. There's certainly pockets of it growing around India now, which is great. But this is progression. This is an exceptionally young roster from India. They had a bit of a rude awakening game day 1 against New Zealand, losing by 53. Expectations here today that the Philippines do come away with the win, probably a big win. But it's for India to develop and to challenge within phases of this game. If they can keep it close, who knows? Maybe they can sneak the win, but it is a big ask.
So, Chot Rays getting ready to coach his Philippines team against an India team. His team's big favorites, but they got to do it on the court. We're going to pause for the commentary for the national anthems. So national anthems have been played. There's Chot Rays. Remember, well, he's well known in the Philippines, obviously, but really did a fantastic job. Coached a very talented team, it has to be said. The Philippines, when they got to the FIBA Basketball World Cup in 2014 in Spain, and played very competitive games. All 5 games, even got a win. And you know, not to overplay that, but it was quite an accomplishment. That Philippines team, you could even say, easily could have been 4-1, maybe, or even 5-0 at 2014 FIBA Basketball World Cup in the group phase. So they will, as the host nation, they want to be next year for the FIBA Basketball World Cup. They're building towards that. I had my suspicions that a lot of these guys we would not see there next year, but after watching them play against Lebanon, I can see that all of these guys are, for the most part, contending for spots in that team. So,
yeah, clearly, you know, and that's part of what the Asia Cup is for these players. It's a chance for them to really try and, you know, make a claim for one of those 12 positions. And whenever you get to play in a home tournament on your home soil, you know, you speak to any athlete, and it's one of the greatest moments of their lives. It's an absolute highlight to play in, you know, one of the world's biggest tournaments, one of the world's biggest sports in front of your home fans.
The Philippines had a very rough FIBA Basketball World Cup in China, but they also had a rough qualifying game for that tournament, I guess, which kind of knocked them out of their stride, you know, events, not just basketball, but that infamous game against Australia. But anyway, that's in the past, and today they go up against an India team that has a lot to prove, and hopefully we'll see them make some progress on their last game against New Zealand. Yevgeny Mikheyev from Kazakhstan, Zhang Zhao from China, and Takaki Kato from Japan refereeing today. So, yeah, in the first quarter though, India, we discovered very quickly they like to get out in transition. Sekhan Singh, Prashant Rawat, Pranav Prince, Arvind Krishnan, Muthu Krishnan, Hafiz, Brigavanshe, Nayak, Tomar, Aryan, Goti, and Singh on the bench for Coach Veselin Matic. Now, actually, I don't see Brigavanshe, do you? So I don't know why he's on the roster unless he's going to come out late. I didn't see him the other day either.
No.
And there's Veselin Matic, who wasn't feeling well the other day, so he, for the most part, sat down and let his assistant coach, Bobby Ray Parks, we just like to call him Bobby Ray. He was outstanding shooting the basketball. Kiefer Ravina, Francis Lopez in the starting five, Sean Jeffrey Chu, Carl Vincent Tamayo. I feel certain he's going to be in the World Cup team.
Yeah, I think so as well. Just 21 years old, but still really, really impressive.
Then 30 Ravina, RJ Aberentios, Poi Aram, Abando. What a sensation he was coming off the bench the other night for Chat Rays when they needed some reinforcements, and he was absolutely sensational. SJ Balangel, Carl Kiambao, Carl Vincent Tamayo, and Renz Joseph Abando, as I mentioned, in that lineup. And there's Nenad Vujanic, the former New Zealand coach. He is an assistant, keeping a low profile here. He was always kind of cool, calm, and collected. Let's listen to Coach Chat Rays.
Guard 33, 17 guard 15, 10 Amarpal 18. First offense 3, all the way 3. Look what happened. That is 3 pass, pop out. Here is the screen. Look what is.
It's important for India to come out that huddle as well. They need to play with confidence early on. They need to put a huge amount of intensity on the defensive end to start this game. If they fall behind too heavily too early on, it'll be interesting to see if they're able to withstand that.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the first true afternoon game at the FIBA Asia Cup. Philippines, India squaring off, and Philippines winning the opening tip, attacking the basket to the right. And Kiefer Ravina missing with the first shot. Second hustles up the floor. India are looking to improve on their performance the other day against New Zealand. Veselin Matic, their coach, looks healthier today. He's on the bench and up. In fact, he's not on the bench. He's standing up, coaching. Offensive rebound for India.
Yeah, he certainly looked in better form when they first came out for their warm-up. Even had time to a little bit of coaching of some of the FIBA staff that are around the floor as well. He looks like he's ready to go today, Coach Matic.
So an early foul.
Yeah, I think Coach Matic is pretty much the definition of a basketball lifer, right?
Singh.
And interested to see Lopez for the Philippines coming into the starting five. He didn't play anything in game day one. Another one of those young prospects, huge amount of potential. A little bit raw at the moment, but that will grow.
Teenager. What do you think about his leaping ability? Are we going to see a dunk or two today?
If he gets out in transition, I expect my eardrums to potentially burst with how excited you're going to get by it. He is going to put a show on if he gets out on a fast break, that's for sure.
Judging from his warm-ups, he definitely will want to dunk, but who doesn't? He's 19 years of age, listed as a power forward. And here's India forcing the tempo, coming up with the steal.
And it's important for India. They didn't really do it in game day one. They only had 7 steals in game day one. They need to put a lot more pressure on the ball. It's not necessarily easy against the Philippines because they have a very strong backcourt. They have plenty of players who can handle the ball really well, but they still need to put that pressure on.
There's Singh spinning and traveling. It's always going to be a tough shot.
And the first phase of that for me from Singh was good. Get in the low post, take some time, draw the double team. As soon as that double team drops, though, he has to kick it back out. Yeah, exactly what Matic is asking for.
Yeah, it's just the way it goes. Oh, off of Bobby Ray Parks. That'll be Philippines basketball. I mean, India basketball. Singh hands it off. Arvind Krishnan. An offensive foul.
Yeah, he's basically holding Parks, not letting him go through the screen. And as much as that's what the play requires, if Parks is able to fight over the screen, you just have to let him go.
Veselin Matic gave the thumbs up. He said, okay, I understand. 2 fouls on India. And another turnover. And here we go. Oh, great hustle back by Bobby Ray and also Lopez.
And the second steal of the game for India, which is good.
It's amazing what good defense will do for a team. I mean, it gives you a chance, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. It can be a complete game changer. It can give you the momentum swing and, you know, really. And what it does is it inspires your other team members to step up as well.
Lopez gets it up to Ravina. Three-point shot. Oh, Tamayo off target.
And over 2 minutes gone and yet to see a point scored, which I think is probably good for India. I think if this was a high-scoring game, then it would fall into the hands of the Philippines. But if they can grind it out and keep it a bit more of a war of attrition and low-scoring, India are in with a chance.
And Lopez gets it back. Slow start for Gilas, as the Philippines are known. Here's Singh again. Will he take on Chu? Nope, he's going to pass it. Oh, feet set. And we're nearly, we're over 3 minutes into it. Neither team has scored.
But I like that from India. They're clearly using that size advantage that they have with Singh. And it's smart. It's absolutely smart because it's forcing Philippines to change how they're going to play defense. They're doubling down every time into the post. And if he can pass out, they're going to get some of those shots to drop.
Chu from the elbow.
Seal on both baskets right now. And
second hustles down. Hands it off and flush. How about that for the first points of the game?
Man,
and now we get the first dunk from Lopez. Goodness me.
This game's just come to life. That was unreal. Prince putting Chu on a poster at one end and Lopez quickly calming things down with a huge dunk at the other end.
2 dunks in the space of 5 seconds.
Wow.
Kiefer Ravina.
I think the official could have called that one with his eyes closed. We heard that slap from here.
I mean, even if he slaps the ball here, oh, look at this. Look at this.
And he's almost looking down into the basket.
It did not take long for that. This is even more impressive for me. Going up over Chu.
Yeah, Chu's a good interior defender.
And there's Singh. Bobby Ray Parks. Intelligent play, going up, shooting it as he takes the bump.
And this is what we saw from Parks in game one, though. It's that experience. You know, when things aren't going your way, get the ball into his hands. He knows how to score. He knows how to start and create some momentum.
Of course, that followed Singh not able. Oh, Lopez checks out. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, he is.
Sorry, but I mean, that's the kind of guy you want to see on the court.
Yeah, he has the potential to be the human highlight reel, right? And I'm interested to see 30 Ravina come back into the game. I wondered whether with the, you know, it's pretty serious injury it looked like, you know, opening his head up and blood trickling down his face in the first game, whether they'd say, okay, if we can see India away, you can take the day off. We'll, you know, give you a little bit more rest and recovery time.
So, Philippines now in front. I mean, on their previous possession, Singh wasn't able to get it down. And while he's tall, he was kind of pushed out. So he's got to work with that footwork. But he also has to be able to hit that short little jumper or hook. Here he is. Good decision. And now he takes the shot with the contact coming, and coming back and getting it is Prince. Prince has got some active hands, doesn't he? Sekon gets in there, gets blocked. Here comes 30. To his brother, Kiefer. Tamayo. Singh with the rebound. Uh-oh, you know where he's going with that. What a finish. Exciting stuff from Krishnan. They are just so much better when they are running down the court.
Yep.
No look pass, sturdy 30.
And for India, that's why their defense is critical. It's absolutely vital that they force turnovers, that they force the Philippines into making mistakes, because they have to get out and run. Transition basketball is where they should be scoring at least half of their points, realistically, if they want to come away with a win today. They look good. They look at the right level in transition basketball. It's just when they get bogged down in the half court that they sometimes have troubles.
So the bigs have been replaced with Kiambao and Aram, Poi Aram for Philippines. There's Prince again. Let's see if he's got his jumper today. Nope, misses that. And Bobby Ray Parks again. Aram doesn't waste any time. And Aram again. So Philippines move back in front. Good hustle from both teams. Look at that. Get on the ground. Kiambao with a little runner.
It's a soft touch. It's a tough skill to master, particularly if you're used to just being back to the basket and banging away a little bit. Having that softer touch is good.
I like the attitude of India. They've come out. They know they're the huge underdogs. Even the little slightest bit of contact with the Philippines, they're like, stop pushing me.
Yeah, they're certainly not here to be bullied about. That's what that, you know, they're showing that they're willing to be, if anything at times, the instigators of the physicality in this game, which is good to see. And I'm sure that's what Coach Matic has asked for. He said, look, don't be passive. They've got to come in and be a lot more proactive in how they're trying to create. And we see Singh go to the bench and Aryan come in. And for me, Singh, big body. He's got good vision as well, though. And he's not a bad passer, so he almost needs to be, when he's on offense, the decoy. Draw the double team, pass out of it. Now we're going to see what the youngster Aryan can bring.
Yeah, Aryan got a mop of hair on his head. Here we go. But see, it's not just height. He's got to be able to get that rebound. And there is 30. Putting it up. Sends him to the bench.
And India will be happy with their defensive effort. They've only given up 10 points in just over 6 minutes of action, but 4 points at the other end. they're not going to win any games at that scoring rate. So Coach Matic needs to find a new way for them to start keeping that scoreboard ticking over. But it's a big ask because the Philippines are a good defensive team.
Let's listen.
Want to be the one ball. Now it's 6-0 for nothing. Again, we are going in this direction. What is the wrong way?
Box out again, box out.
That is two-time gap. You are dribbling ball. Control the ball. Play. When you have a problem, play one. Play one. When you problem, long open, play one coming around. That is 4-5. Try here, and then continue one.
30 Ravina and Kiefer Ravina. That's 30.
And on the defensive end, it's a relatively, well, I say relatively easy fix at this level. Nothing's an easy fix. But 6 of the 10 points for the Philippines have come on fast breaks. So that's just about locking down your transition defense and really getting a rim protector to come back and defend the paint, guard that paint a lot quicker. That will slow that transition scoring down from the Philippines. But at the other end of the floor, they need to work out a way to score in the half court.
Second to the corner. Krishnan throws the lob, but just over the head of Prince. That's going to get him yanked out of the game. Moeen Hafiz is going to come into the game, and Krishnan is going to have to sit down, which Hafiz brings a different style, but they'll miss Prince's, they'll miss Krishnan's ability to get out and run.
Yeah, just concerned with Hafiz. He, usually a pretty steady away point guard, but had 4 turnovers against New Zealand. He's going to have to be more protective in this game.
Belangel and Kiambao able to get that. Here's Abando, and he's fouled shooting the 3. Prince late in the shot clock.
Yeah, 3.2 seconds left on the shot clock. It's absolutely frustration for Coach Matic when he sees things like that.
Bando was just kind of came out of nowhere in the last game off the bench following the injury, and was tough, the injury to 30.
Yeah, he came in and just brought some energy when the team were kind of lulling a little bit because of a little bit shell-shocked to see one of their kind of almost spiritual leaders leave the floor in a wheelchair. He just came in with the energy and picked the team back up a little bit. Box score doesn't really reflect that clearly. He only played 9 minutes and got 4 points, but definitely had an impact, definitely helped them try to get back on track.
I think we looked at each other and were like, why hasn't this guy been playing? Because that injury happened second half. Or no, it's right before halftime.
Yeah, it was about a minute before halftime.
A minute before halftime. So he came out. Anyway, he's in now, and there's the drive, and that was a good, strong move by India's number 99, Kushal Singh. Five-point difference right now. Kiambao hands it off. 30 Ravina. Shot clock down to 4. 3. 30 lost it. Now this is where India are good. Kushal Singh hands it off, and the 2 points are good by Hafiz.
And they truly are. You know, they are at the right level in transition. They're one of the better teams, if anything, in Asia Cup in transition. But they also know how important it is to them, so I suppose they need to be, really.
Oh, boy, sinking it nicely. Number 27, S.J. Belangel, Sam Joseph Belangel. Oh, boy, that's a tough pass. Philippines looking to get another pick. Oh, nice pass on the baseline. India showing some good basketball.
And Hafiz there looked so nonchalant when he threw that pass. It was like, yeah, it's easy. I can throw a pinpoint pass, no problems.
Kiambao for three. And offensive foul called on Poi Aram.
Yeah, Ariane took a big hit from Aram there as he hobbles back up the floor.
Mark, I mean, you know, India might get blown out in this game, but at the end of the day, they were absolutely humiliated.
They've already done more today than they did against New Zealand.
And they could have either just been like, oh, we're not at this level. And great job by Veselin Matic and that coaching staff to get these players.
But it also tells you a lot
today
about their mentality. We've talked about mentality a lot today, but these players, they understand where they are and where their country is, you know, their national team is in the development stages, and they're embracing that. They know it's every day they're going to turn up and it's a learning curve.
Oh, another three, count it! Sahaj Sekon.
And that ties the game now, 13 apiece. It's, you know, as I say, we've seen a much better India team here today.
Well, it's only one quarter, but they have been fun to watch. Kiambao drives in, wraparound pass, Abando, good! Boy, he's exciting, and India player is injured. Sekon is going to try to walk it off.
Yeah, looks like it was his right knee.
He's already got some type of injury. He's going to come out.
Oh no, left knee actually he's holding on to.
Krishnan. Hopefully it's just a knock. This can hurt.
Yeah.
So good defense by Abando.
And that was just hustle. That was just Abando. After hitting that three, taking the energy and the buzz that he got off hitting the big jumper and putting it into the defensive effort.
And once again, funny how good defense can lead to points, and that's what's happened. Now they're going to the free throw line. 2 shots because India now over the limit.
And Kiambao is one of those interesting players for the Philippines. Played over 20 minutes, but didn't register a point in the first game. So his trip to the free throw line, he'll be hoping to break that seal, I imagine.
I'm not sure what Prati Anshu Tomar did, but it got him yanked out of the game. Boy, Matic is not going to suffer any, what's his expression? Fools
gladly. Yeah, it's an interesting one. You have to balance that confidence. These are young players trying to find their feet at a very high level, but you do have to make a point when they're not hitting the standards that you want.
And they turned it over again, and now the struggles of ball handling, of breaking presses coming into full view, and there is 30 Ravina scoring. So India punished by the turnovers.
And take that clip of 30 Ravina here, the footwork, the step, just that's textbook. You know, that's one to clip up and show to kids if you're going to coach them. That's how to use the big step, the footwork, and use the glass all in one play. Great from 30 Ravina.
At the end of one quarter, Philippines up 20-13 against India.
Those are the shots we'll get. On the ball screen, hold the screen. Hold the screen, we'll get those shots there. We got those little shots there.
And it's shooting percentages. It's fun. And so yeah, some big plays, none bigger than that. That was an absolute killer dunk from the first quarter, and then Lopez came straight back the other way and took it out on the ring at the other end of the floor. And a lot more evenly matched contest than I was expecting in this first quarter. Philippines lead by 7. It's off the back of a couple of mistakes from India, which they'll be frustrated by. But all in all, they must take some credit for this first quarter performance, because India have looked far superior in the first quarter than they did against New Zealand. Second with 5 points for them, leading the way. But again, the Philippines just playing good Filipino basketball, sticking to that team ethos, already having 7 players register on the scoreboard in the first quarter.
Download the Courtside 1891 app, get it in your smartphone, use that barcode, and get it in, and you will have a lot of good video streams, results, scores. So they're gonna wipe up some moisture from the court. Somebody spotted it. So 7-0 run for the Philippines. India had battled back to tie it. So they're gonna try to stop that run.
Yeah, and these are the small mistakes that really hurt India as they try to fight their way back into the game. They had 20 turnovers in that game against New Zealand. They just need to take care of possession a little bit more than they have done so far.
Over and back for the second time because of the Indian defense.
That's certainly an area that's looked much better today. Just the energy that India are exerting into their defensive end, it's much better.
You can't switch off mentally for a second in India. And I think that for the Indians, and that's probably one area why you see Matic is constantly barking at him, barking orders.
And you'd love to know what the correlation between India's performance against New Zealand was when Matic had to sit down.
How about that move? Nice, sweet play by Krishnan.
But yeah, the correlation between Matic not being an active coach, again, when they played New Zealand, to Matic now being the active coach, I think there's a big impact on how India are playing just from that small detail.
I think so, because I think probably Philippines played better against Lebanon, and they've come back down to earth a little bit here, even though Lebanon beat them. They haven't been able to really play their game. Kian Bao, what a slick pass that was from number 28.
And that is great team offense. Kian Bao just looking for the backdoor cut from Aram, and Aram timing it perfectly.
His passing has been really good in this game. 30 Ravina, tough shot, what a finish.
And that is the word tough. That's just a pure tough-nosed play, that one. He knows exactly going up that he's going to get hammered when he goes to the bucket, but he doesn't care. He still pushes through, takes it all the way, intentionally drawing that contact and almost withholding the shot until he knows the foul's going to be called.
And he does this after that nasty spill just less than 2 days ago.
You can see the aftermarks of it on his head. I imagine there's potentially a couple of stitches tucked under that bandage.
Philippines turning it up a notch. Their pressure has been a source of, something has happened.
Yeah, I think the shot clock was the issue. Yeah, the shot clock's gone down way too far. I think it started from a 14 instead of a 24.
Hafiz gets it in. Ooh, Kian Bao. I mean, it was a tad late, and that's why Kian Bao thought he wasn't going to get the foul call, but it was definitely.
Yeah, he's tripped him up.
It's kind of.
Even if it's inadvertently, it's still a trip.
It's making contact.
It's his second foul. First player to pick up 2 fouls.
Aberentios. Oh, wow. Hafiz going in for the shot and leading with his elbow. It's tough. Watch this. Oh, yeah, he called Aberentios in the face. That's a good spot by Takaki Kato, the Japanese referee. I didn't see it from this angle. Bobby Ray Gets it over to 30. Ravina from the elbow. Wow. When you watch him in person, he actually looks better.
He looks far more controlled. You don't kind of feel that when you're watching him, you know, on screen. In person, he seems very purposeful about everything he's doing. His entire body movement is very purposeful.
But he's also very solid.
Yeah.
You can see. He's got a good base. Hafiz from deep. Big shot. India trying to stay in there with Gilas. 30 from the right. Wow. If anything, he's played better since that fall. I mean, I don't want to say it's knocked some sense into him, but it's knocked something into him. Some confidence. Oh, good tag by India.
Yeah.
Nice drive by Kushal Singh.
It's much more positive.
Yeah.
One thing to draw out this Indian performance, and certainly an area they're going to have to improve on if they want to pick up wins at this level, is just their perimeter game. It's really struggling at the moment. They're 2 from 7 today. They were 3 from 18 on their first game. They need to, you know, either run some offense that creates some open shots, or if they don't feel they have that level of quality at the moment, that's something they'll need to develop in their own games. It's hard to see any international team come away with a successful tournament campaign if they don't shoot the 3-ball well.
And was that a putback?
No, they've given it a 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. I think it was very close.
Well, India really did get to this Asia Cup by the skin of their teeth. When you consider, there's RJ Aberentios. I mean, they beat Iraq twice to get to the qualifying tournaments.
Yeah.
And it was there that Saudi Arabia won both of their games against India and Palestine, but India were able to beat Palestine. And Palestine's got some good basketball teams. You know, they've obviously claimed some scalps over the years. But India beat them 79-77, and that's what got them here. So you have to realize they actually kind of went through an additional qualifying just to make it. And they did that by outscoring Palestine 27-16 the last quarter. Oh boy, that was on the way down, surely. Good job though, good block. And now on the break, I can't, you know, this India performance is night and day from against New Zealand. Singh needs to get rid of it. Nice play. Oh boy, he's got to make that shot. Rawat.
But that's what I believe Singh can be, as the big man for him.
Yeah.
Not the scorer, but the facilitator, you know, drawing the double team down, and then people have to cut off him, and the angles and timing of the cut is really important.
Aberentios out to Bobby Ray. So far hasn't launched anything. Oh, here's the whistle again. 2 shots. You feel for Matic because you can see the progress. You see the progress this team is making offensively.
Yeah.
But then when you miss the layup, it all goes to waste.
Yeah, it's frustrating, doing all that hard work. And what you'll also find is if you don't make that layup, it's not such a lesson. They're not learning that because they don't get the positive outcome, the reward at the end of it. So psychologically, they're not kind of drilling themselves into running that play again, when that's exactly what they should do. Just keep running those plays that are creating the opportunities. The efficiency will come with time. That will come with time.
And it's interesting, you know, you talk about seeing maybe his best role is to be the facilitator, but in that crucial game that they had to win against Palestine when they came from behind in the 4th quarter, he ended up scoring 30 points in the game to lead them.
That's phenomenal. That's a big performance
and
in a big game.
I agree with you. I can't see that Amritpal Singh in this game. I just could not envision him scoring 30 points.
But the defense he's facing in this game, I imagine, is
possibly
slightly higher.
Oh, look at him attack. I like it. Oh, he needs to shoot that. What's he doing trying to pass it? And that's what Veselin Matic is saying.
Yeah.
Ball goes out of bounds. Watch this.
And that's where he needs to study 30 Ravina and say, okay, that's where I go to the basket, I hold body contact, then take my shot. Needs to have a bit more confidence. Did everything right then.
Bobby Ray, it was only a matter of time before he struck from long range. And Gilas have their biggest lead of the game now.
Yeah, he had 15 points shooting 57% from outside in that first game, Parks.
Good job passing it around and going up for the dunk. That's what I like to see.
Much better, much better. That aggression will pay off. Just keep going with it.
Boy, for India, Prashnal Prince has got some springs in his legs. Golly. He's really unlucky that he at least didn't draw a foul there. I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm not saying he was fouled, but you will often get fouled on that at least. And he was not on that occasion. Amrapal Singh gets it over. Here he goes. Prince again, driving in. And I think, oh, we don't need another Filipino down on the court.
Sean Chu just needs to calm down a little bit. He's being a little bit over aggressive at the moment.
It's William Navarro.
Yeah, I'm just hoping it's not going to spill over a little bit, defending his teammate there, shoving Rawat out of the way unnecessarily. But he's now going to the bench, which I think is a smart move from Coach Reyes.
This is where India have to really knuckle down. They got to play D. Oh, good hands, but they catch it, and India get the open look. I mean, Philippines get the open look, and then the foul called on Tamayo. Great effort by Krishnan.
And as much as it's interesting, we raved about Tamayo. He had a great game, and now he's 0 rebounds, 0 points in almost 9 minutes of play. He's just been a non-factor in this game so far. But he's the type of player that does kind of need to impose himself. I don't think his teammates are necessarily going to bring him into the game. He needs to be a little bit more proactive.
But Mark, are you sure that this is the same India team? Have they brought somebody else in here? Okay, there you got it. Unnecessary turnover. Keeper Ravina pulls up the dribble. Krishnan loses them. Now Navarro puts it on the deck. Ooh, Tamayo goes behind his back. Aram. Oh, great effort, India. Here they come. Krishnan. Oh, Krishnan, where are you passing that? Trying to get it inside the Singh. And there's foul called. 2 shots.
And I like that from Tamayo, trying to get his game going, being aggressive as he goes to the basket.
So 3.5 minutes remaining, and Philippines are starting to put some distance between themselves and India, but they're having to work, and India doing themselves winning some credit points from spectators with the effort that they're putting out there today.
Down 5 for a Prince. Down 5 for a Prince. Don't stay too long. And then after that, all the way 3. All the way 3 that we are coming, that he coming out, their screen is here, they are coming out, and then after that, what will be happen? He will play this side or he will play other side.
Well, as you just pointed out, Mark, 3 fouls now on Prince. So that doesn't help, but at the end of the day, you're just trying to stay in this game as long as possible if you're India. So I see no reason to sit him down.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, you have to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. If it means he maybe picks up his 4th foul, then you might sit him. But 3 fouls, keep him in the game, keep him going. And for India, they'll be much happier with their defensive display in this game. They gave up 100 points in their first game. They're tracking for what, maybe 80 points conceded in this game. It's a big step up, and it's not just the numbers. You watch the way they're playing defense. It's much, much higher level than they were in the first game. But what I would say is offensively, there's still so much work to do for them.
Yeah. Well, they were down 64-21 at halftime against New Zealand. So you can see defensively, they've been better today.
Yeah, New Zealand, you know, even though New Zealand scored 100 points on them, they took their foot off the gas in the second half because they'd had such a lead. So I think if they'd kept going that way, it would have been a 120, 130 point, the way that India were playing defense. So yeah, Coach Matic back on the sidelines, barking the orders. It's paying out now for India. They're playing much better brand of basketball.
Takes his time, makes the second. Navarro, well, they've been setting him up over there and trying to get him going, and he does indeed make the shot.
Yeah, now it's the biggest lead of the game for the Philippines, and any shakiness they may have had early on seems to have disappeared.
There's Singh. Well, see, he can score. Ravina to Navarro. Oh, behind the back to Tamayo. William Navarro passed off. Boy, that was unlucky. Got a hand on it, goes right back to him. That's what happens when you're losing and things aren't going your way. Rawat. Almost walked, but he scores. Back to 17-point deficit. Bobby Ray, good 2 meters behind the arc. Prince, skies for another 2. Good work, India. Sticking with it. This is the best half of basketball I've ever seen India play.
Yeah, great.
I can comfortably say that. So Chalrez wants to talk about something else. Let's listen in.
Sona sila kasi, yun ang nga pinag-usapan natin kahapon eh. Pag sona, kung sino yung nasa harap niyo, yun na yung tao niyo. Okay, bakit tayo natatakbuhan dito? Whoever is there and he's running, run with him. Ang ginagawa natin, naghihintay tayo ganyan konti. Hihintay pa natin, tsaka tayo tatakbo. Takbo na tayo. Okay, sprint back here. Wala namang titira sa labas eh. Sprint to the paint.
Once ma-release na, sprint back.
Get to the paint. Andito na may tao tayo sa bola. Sprint to the paint.
Naka-stop ball ako dito eh. Kailangan lang yung secondary na ano natin. Okay?
Okay. Ito mo rin yung stop mo baka masyado mataas.
Madali tayo sa set ng zone natin.
Oh, 3 down.
Yo, team on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Philippines are leading by 15 points. They'd like to go to halftime in complete command. Right now, they're not. They were on the verge, but India are getting after them a little bit.
Yeah, for me, a 20-point lead must be what they're targeting as we see India in a 1-2-1-1 zone press. But yeah, the Philippines must be, we need to be up by 20. That's realistic target for them to get for the half.
India in the zone now. And Navarro steps in, little runner. Oh boy, he can shoot it, can he?
Yeah, he's got a soft touch. Another one of those players coming through, 25 years old now, starting to get to his prime.
Prince puts it up. Not there. He's got to be careful. He's got the 3 fouls. Ravina back to his brother, 30. Tamayo, it's good, and there it is, the 20-point lead.
Yeah, and that's a worrying sign if you're seeing players like Tamayo starting to warm up as well. Cold start to the game. Comes back out in the second half hot. It's going to be a long 20 minutes for India.
Hafiz turns it over, and now Ravina running, hands it to Navarro. He gets rejected. But a reach and a foul.
I've been impressed with what Navarro has done in this game so far. He's up to 7 points, 3 from 4 from the field. He's only been on the floor less than 5 minutes. He's doesn't want to be on the ball. He doesn't need to be on the ball, doesn't need the ball in his hands, but he's spotting up. He's finding space on the floor to stretch that India defense and shot the ball from outside well, came in a little runner, now earning himself a trip to the free throw line.
So both free throws are good. And William Navarro now with 6 points. No, make it 9 points, excuse me. They're slow to register. A lot of them. Here is Singh backing up. Hafiz, he's a good shooter as well. Count it. Nice play. He's a good shooter. It's his second 3. I mean, it looks almost automatic when he lets it go.
Yeah, he is. He's listed as a point guard. For me, I think he's better off the ball in that situation. You'd much rather release him and let him spot up somewhere, particularly when you've got Singh. You know, we've talked about that clearly the Philippines want to double and want to pressure Singh when he has the ball. If I'm Hafiz, I'm just playing off that. I'm finding a corner, I'm finding a wing wherever there's space.
First of all, press break tayo dito ha. Let's beat here. 1-3-1 to, then the shoulder. 1-3-1. Pag naka 1-3-1 sila, let's just be in our 4 corners. 4 corners tayo. Si Poy dito setting that ball screen. Okay? 4 corners lang tayo. Move the ball and make sure you get a good shot. Okay? Kung hindi sila naka-press, kung naka-tao-tao tayo, let's run na, kung naka-tao-tao, let's run na spin. Last shot tayo sa spin. Okay, let's go.
So there he is. You see, he catches it. He's ready to shoot. He's got the release, and it's automatic. And that look just tells me that probably they've scouted this India team and said, this guy cannot be left open.
Yeah, and that's important from the Philippines' perspective. It would be easy after seeing what New Zealand did to India just to go, well, we don't really need to, you know, we can just walk over this India team. But they haven't. They've clearly done a good job. They understand what threats India do have, the style of play that Philippines need to play to counter that.
Oh, boy, what a play. Just basic coming right out of the timeout. Bounce pass. They need to hold this for the last shot. Nope, he's going to put it up, and he's going to make another 3. But he's left too much time for the Philippines. Here comes Gilas. Navarro, bounce pass, intercepted. Now, Hafiz no, he doesn't have enough time. Great idea. And Matic says thumbs up.
That's a great way to close out the half for India. Absolutely brilliant way. They'll take some positives into the locker room.
I got to be honest, I've never been impressed more with a team that's trailing by 18 at halftime. India, great job. Philippines lead at 51-33 over India at the break. Mark, it feels like every basket that India scores has just a little bit of extra something special to it. I don't know what it is, but I think you see the potential.
Yeah, you absolutely do. And look at those percentages, 4 from 9 from outside. That is a much better percentage. The worry you have is pretty much all out of the hand of Hafiz. He's hit 3 of those 4 triples. India doing well on the boards as well, though, out-rebounding the Philippines. That's important for them. Hafiz leads the way with those 3 triples and 1 other make with 11 points, and Ravina comes in with 12. Philippines won't be disappointed, but they won't be overly happy. India won't be disappointed, but they'll be a bit frustrated as well.
I think the fans will be encouraged by what they see. That's what it is. You know, and you gotta have perspective in these things. You know, you look at the FIBA rankings of these 2 teams, and you look at you know, everything. You know, Philippines are number 34 in the FIBA World Ranking. India, well, they are, I just lost it. Where is it? They are far down at 82. And when you judge them from their performance from 2 days ago. Clearly, the absence of Matic. You know, and these guys, I don't think are playing in the competitive domestic games at the same level that the Philippines players are, that the New Zealand players are. So it's kind of a different situation for India. You know, there's talent, there's potential. How do you get them the best competition? How do you get them the best coaching? And I could not have imagined India playing actually this well today, having watched them play 2 days ago.
No, you're absolutely right. And when we talk about them being, you know, a developing basketball nation, it's not just the national team. You're absolutely right. It's the infrastructure, it's everything. It's their domestic league. You know, speaking of Coach Matic, there's rumblings that they're going to get that started and there'll be some elite competition for the players to take part in, which is crucial for them to develop as players. Higher level quality competition, obviously imports within the league will challenge them as well on a regular basis, rather than having to constantly wait for these qualification windows and tournaments for them to see where their progression is.
I mean, those windows are good, but it just illustrates you need domestic competition. You need good, strong leagues.
Or like you say, the players need to leave and go and play where there are good domestic competitions. And looking at some of these players, they could absolutely go into some reasonable leagues and you'll see their game just absolutely skyrocket, because week in, week out, they're playing against tough teams day in, day out. They're training, you know, with good facilities, good coaches, good nutrition, good strength and conditioning. That's what Indian basketball needs, but the signs are there. You can see those green shoots from today's game. They've not been downtrodden by that result against New Zealand. They've come out and they've put in a really good first half.
And here's something else, and I'm not saying that I'm against the naturalized player rule, but they don't have a naturalized player.
I'm not going to lie, I'm not a fan of the naturalized player, but yeah, you're right. The rules are there for them to potentially bring someone in. And I wonder if they've had discussions about what impact that has on their program, whether it's something they want to do or not do.
51-33, Philippines on top of India at halftime.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation, representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands? It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
But, and he's got a three-point play.
Miguel White getting swatted. Great effort from Makna Al-Mawani.
Here's Proctor with a spin and scores, and that's 2 in a row for Tyrese Proctor. Starting to see his talent bloom here.
Lincoln Chin went out big time. Big time. From number 0.
That play just born from pure determination for Lin.
Puts his attempt up, and Lee Kai-young off target. Choi, oh, what a beautiful pass.
Wow. That's absolute vision from Choi. Full flow.
Freddie Ibrahim, Jordan, trying to get a big win, their first win, and Al-Mawani throws it down. Amos, all he's done is come back into the game. Rusa gets it to Chisholm, and he lays it up, and Bahrain have moved back in front. Incredible.
That's the exact word. Incredible.
Why did they leave him? Again, the handoff, oh, the great block. Oh, Rollins just picked up his third.
Huge block. Oh, actually say
the back to split the D, hands it off to Hamuda. Are you kidding me? Wow, electric stuff.
There's the play. Oh, splits the defense with the behind the back.
That was the play of the game right there.
Jang gets it to who? Back to Jang for three. The offensive rebound, and he's fouled. Can you believe it? Dude.
He's been pretty quiet in the second half, but what a time to wake up.
He was there, the ball fell to him kindly, really, and he was alert enough to go straight back up and look at the joy.
And welcome back to Jakarta for Asia Cup 2022 action. Halftime here between the Philippines and India. Philippines hold a relatively commanding lead, 51-33. As we see, the leading scorer from India in the opening half is Mumbek Hafiz, 11 points, 3 threes from downtown, and it's exactly what India have needed, some outside threat. As for the Philippines, they've looked good, and Ravina, coming off that injury in game day 1, has looked even better today. 12 points, 5 from 6 from the field, really leading the way. Heart and soul at times of this Philippines roster, and he's done a great job in that first half. Philippines won't be happy. They're not in complete control of this matchup. They lead by a reasonable amount, 18 points, but India have been night and day from their game day 1 annihilation by New Zealand. So plenty of positives for India to take from that first half, but plenty to work on in the second half, particularly on the offensive end, as the Philippines have looked the real deal on both sides of the floor.
So India and Philippines giving us an entertaining game. Philippines in command, but at the end of the day, what your expectations are, you want to see some improvement from India, because they absolutely got hammered by New Zealand the other day. And Mark, I have to say, probably repeat this throughout the day, great host nation. I mean, I can't complain. They're putting on, everything is well organized. Yep. It's fantastic. So the people that come here for the FIBA Basketball World Cup have a lot to look forward to.
No, absolutely. Jakarta's going to provide a wonderful base for that group stage. And as much as I'm supposed to not want certain teams to win, I do want Indonesia to get to the quarterfinals.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you do.
We're supposed to sit here unbiased and not want certain teams to. I think, to have Indonesia play in a World Cup on this floor would be absolutely phenomenal. It's the dream of all those players, and I think it would have a legacy effect as well. I think it would get the media attention and the public's attention here in Jakarta and drive a new generation of ballers for them.
This is probably a no-go, but...
Oh, brilliant.
What if...
Thanks.
What if you took this India team and you put them in the Philippines and let them play?
What, you mean take a national team and put them into a domestic league?
Just to give them regular competition.
I'm not a fan of that structure. I would rather see the individual players move elsewhere.
You kind of see that within domestic leagues, the national team, many national team players in one team. Yeah,
absolutely. You see it relatively frequently in other sports as well. You don't see it hugely in basketball, but in other sports you see it. For me, I would rather there be a pathway to elite level domestic club basketball for Indian players. So rather than having to take the national team.
I know, but I'm just thinking realistically, and to get it going initially, while at the same time.
I think there's potential to do it. And you could even do it in an informal manner. You know, if you could keep this national team together, there's no reason why they couldn't travel and have a, you know, a schedule of games against teams in other countries.
I just think that's the biggest issue facing, you know, it's like you already said, you know, they need to have that domestic league.
It's all about week in, week out.
To be at that level, so they don't have to wait to the windows.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the trouble, you know. You think about it, these players that they're playing against, these teams that they're playing against, everyone involved, every week is getting better, is upping their game because they're involved. These Indian players don't have that. They have to wait every 3-4 months for a qualification window or for a tournament to turn around. And then they have two-week training camp, 2-week tournament. They have a month, and then they have several months of not being together, not being able to sharpen themselves maybe as much as they would.
I mean, without a question, I want a strong domestic league in India, and I want it to work, and I want it to be a place that draws fans, gets everybody excited about basketball, for kids to go to games and to want to become basketball players.
You know, you only have to watch the IPL in India for cricket. Now, don't get me wrong, basketball's never going to get to that level, I wouldn't imagine, because cricket is just in the DNA of India. Yeah. But just imagine the atmospheres that those sports fans bring to the cricket. If they had a competitive, strong domestic league, you know, with a sprinkling of high-profile imports, that wouldn't be way beyond the question. You know, we were lucky enough to be in Mumbai for the NBA games in India, the first time the NBA played there, and it took over Mumbai. Yeah. You know, we were driving through to the game, and there were posters everywhere. They did a great job, the NBA, because it was pretty much entirely school children in the arena. It wasn't like they were trying to sell the tickets. They were trying to get young people in front of the, you know, with that NBA exposure. So I think the thirst would be there. It's just the process of getting it.
Matic probably knows better than anybody the talent that's in India, the merit to having a good domestic league, to starting it up initially and having it go, and to get the right coaches in there to run these programs, and to make it attractive for the players themselves, because they've got to earn a living as well. So
yeah, absolutely.
Keep up the pressure, huh? Keep up the pressure every time you can jump, and then box out. Come on, let's win this third one. That's right. Right here. You know. 1, 2, 3.
That's a relatively simple message. Keep up the pressure.
Well, download the Asia Cup app in your smartphone. Just scan in the barcode, and you've got everything you need at your fingertips to learn all about these teams. Gilas, also India. Hey, Mr. Lopez has come back out to start the second half, so hold on to your seats, folks. That's going to be fun. No doubt he had a sensational slam dunk at the start of the game. And I want to talk about basketball, but since you mentioned cricket, I'll just throw this out there. I remember when, for example, the USA were invited to play in the Copa America in football. Yeah. You know, that's for South American teams. Yeah. You know, so to be able to be invited and to give you that competition. But anyway.
And one of the options might be for, you know, maybe even more relevant would be ESL. Yeah. To bring them into that intercontinental competition.
Well, we are underway here in Jakarta. It is game day 2. 4th day of the competition, and it's India taking on Philippines. And Philippines staying with it and getting the basket, and Lopez scoring and hoping that this time he stays on the court. The 19-year-old high-flying sensation of Gilas.
Yeah, and he had 4 minutes in that first half, which is a surprise, because it's not like he did anything wrong. He was actually a positive contribution to the team.
It could be that Chalk saw something he didn't like. And that is a brick by Krishnan. So tough start. The lead now 20 points. Bobby Ray gets it back to Kiefer. Ravina. Tamayo hands it off to Bobby Ray Parks. I say Tamayo. He says bounce pass and it goes away. Rawat, open floor. Good job with the skip pass. Now there's Hafiz. Oh, he shows he's human. He misses.
And you can see that's clearly been put across by the Philippines coaching staff that you've got to chase Hafiz. There's no more giving him any space in the perimeter. And that was smart. You know, Hafiz stepped in, a little shot fake, and then dribbles to the basket. If you can get that mid-range game going, you'll keep the points ticking over.
Tamayo, oh boy, that was a powerful move. He went around Prince, and remember, Prince has the 3 fouls, so I don't know if that affected his defense there, but.
Yeah, I think it did. Initially, it was just poor defense. His footwork let him down, and then trying to recover, like you say, he was more likely to pick up a 4th foul than anything else.
Oh, that was a good catch from Singh. Nice play by Singh. Now they swing it. Here comes Prince. Oh boy, that was good basketball from India, and he just missed the layup. Unbelievable. Good job, though, Rawat getting in there.
And how many times has that been the case for India? They've done a great job of getting to the basket, done all the hard work.
You can't make it up missing that one.
No.
And he's, you know, Prince could dunk it, but just maybe it was just a 5 centimeters too far to try it. I don't know. I'm sure he would have tried if he could. Boy, his reactions are pretty impressive, aren't they? There's Singh. He wants to go to work on Chu. Oh, nice spin. Oh. He's got to go up with a little jump hook.
Yeah, he needed to go for the hook shot. It was screaming out hook shot. Just there, rather than that little stutter step and pivot forward.
Yeah, he was trying to.
He'd done all the hard work. The footwork was great up to that point. He established himself a good strong base to push off from to get the little baby hook away.
Lopez fouled by Singh. Oh, don't want to foul the jump shooter, so Lopez goes to the line.
There's clearly still plenty of development for Lopez to go through, but another exciting Philippines prospect coming through the ranks. You know, 19 years old. Played in their qualification campaign and held his own. Was absolutely a positive impact for them in that as well.
With his skill set, I mean, is he an outside contender to make that team next year?
We had this conversation. For me, 11th man, 12th man, I'm always tempted to say, surely that's where your juniors come in. Give him that experience early of tournament, of big stage basketball. And it's not like Lopez isn't ready for that. You know, his skill set is there, maybe his experience is, but that's the only way he's going to develop on that side of things, by putting him there.
Oh boy, Kishnall got into no man's land, had to make the pass, and Bobby Ray read it. Oh goodness. Well, he tried to do too much there, and Ravina commits to foul.
And you're absolutely right with Lopez there. He tried to do too much, and often when you're an athletic player, as we see, the easy call on the foul, often when you're an athletic player, you leave your feet too early, you make that jump too early, and once you're in the air, you do only have so long until you come back down, no matter how athletic you are. And in that situation, he was just left with no passing options.
I'm just wondering if that's Matic was just talking about Kishnall, saying that very point that you just made. Leave your feet, you got to have somewhere you're going to throw it. Hafiz. Oh. He's not making his shots now in the second half. Oh, that could be unsportsmanlike, and it is.
Yeah, pretty straightforward call. And second Indian player to pick up 3 fouls as well, and pretty much the one you don't want to be picking up 3 fouls as your leading scorer.
So 2 free throws for Bobby Ray Parks. He's definitely a good enough shooter to make that team in terms of to provide a specialty for Philippines, for Gilas at the World Cup, Bobby Ray.
I think there's more to it than that as well. I think his experience, you know, he could be a veteran on that team, maybe keep them a little bit leveler emotionally. You know, Philippines generally as a team, we've seen the good side and the negative side of when those emotions take over, and I think he would enable them to, you know, level out that roller coaster ride for them.
3-pointer for keeper Ravina.
And India can't let their defense go now. They cannot let their defense go. They need to keep that intensity up. They need to chase the shooters off the line. They need to be physical. Otherwise, this game will just blow wide open. And it'll be another New Zealand situation for them.
Good D by Bobby Ray. Rawat puts it up from the elbow. Well, they had a good look. He's going to follow the miss. Oh, boy, good drive by Rawat and 2 free throws.
And that's great by Rawat. They haven't scored in this quarter. They've, you know, conceded 11 points from the Philippines. So get to the free throw line and try and get the seal off the second half basket.
Prashant Rawat, listed as a power forward, just 21 years of age. So another demonstration of he's got time on his side, but now is when he needs to be capitalizing and competing. And he makes both free throws. You wouldn't believe it. He's 2.02 meters in height, 6 feet 8 inches, Rawat. That was a bit naive. You can't put the ball on the deck with Bobby Ray nearby. Philippines picking up their defense just a little bit here in the third quarter. Tamayo steps back. Good job passing the ball to be able to bring it up. Now the trap comes. Traveling.
And Coach Matic has just got his head in his hands right now. And that's the point. You know, this is the difference really for India, and this is the next big step up they need to make.
He just kind of shuffled. He kind of jumps, didn't he? But that's because he's got the double team coming right at him. Bobby Ray. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And that's exactly what you're talking about. You know, it's that kind of play, that sharp shooting that could potentially get him inclusion into the roster. And you find me a Philippines player who wouldn't want to be on that roster for next year's World Cup. You are potentially going to have God status in the Philippines if that goes well.
Yeah, but if it doesn't go well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But of course you want to play.
Yeah. I can already imagine what that arena in the final is going to be like. It's, it'll be a day to remember, that's for sure.
Tamayo goes out. So the lead is 30. Rawat, feet set. And, Aram is now down, so.
That doesn't look good. He doesn't look comfortable or happy at all down there. Saying it's his ankle.
Oh, I don't.
It looked like it gave out as he was trying to box out Singh.
He's pointing to his right ankle. What's this? Ooh.
Yeah. And they're the injuries you worry about most, when it seems completely innocuous. It looks like nothing's happened, but you see a player go down really quickly. Usually means something's popped inside. Yeah, he's really gingerly on that ankle. Things aren't going the way for the Philippines with regards to injuries. I think they're grateful that they got 30 back and there wasn't any serious damage done.
Yeah, but you just saw Chat Reyes. He just put both hands to his head because I think he realizes that, I mean, obviously he's mostly concerned about his players' health, but also what it might mean for his availability for the rest of this competition.
Yeah, and Aram isn't one of those players that's necessarily your mainstay, but you try and win a tournament without him. You know, you try and push on for a medal without that kind of player. Coming off the bench, providing physicality, but consistency. Yeah, he's one of those glue guys in a roster that, they're a necessity. Without them, you don't progress.
Good job, Rawat. Gonna reset the shot clock. Good pass, 30.
And it's just basic things like that for me is the difference between the Philippines and India. You know, 30 got a double team, was being pushed off the court. Philippines adjusted, created space and passing lanes for him to get out of trouble, and he knew where they'd be.
Lopez travels. Well, we'd like to thank him for finishing off that play despite the travel.
Yeah, we'll just ask him to put the ball on the floor a little bit earlier next time.
Oh. So the foul called on Amarenda Nayak. No, it wasn't. It
Was it on Gotti?
Gotti for setting the pick.
Yeah. Yeah, he just didn't stay long enough.
I just didn't see it in live action.
And again, it's just one of those basic errors, but once you add all of these basic errors together, that's what leads to a 30-point lead for the other team. On their own, they don't look like anything major, but they contribute to making it very difficult to win games.
Oh, Rawat couldn't stay with 30. 30 just took him.
Yeah. But that's a mismatch for Rawat, to be fair. He doesn't want to be playing too much perimeter defense.
Yeah, no way. Now Nayak can't pick up his dribble. Okay, nice bounce pass back to him. Well, that was the right play, and there's Rawat with the follow.
That's exactly where Rawat wants to be.
And they called a foul as well as Navarro went up holding his mouth. So spotted by the referee.
Yeah, and the problem you've got there, they're playing a 3-2 defense, which is great, no problem with that, understand why they're playing it. But one of the two guys at the back has to commit to picking up that high post. You can't just stay flat on the baseline. One of you has to be allocated. Usually the weak side guy should come up and body that high post, but they didn't. Kiambao was left open, made the interior pass really easy for him.
Rawat, not quite able to get it up and in.
Wow, it's been impressive the last couple of plays. Willing to get involved and get physical. Good, strong move, good body control. Not a huge fan of where he picked his dribble up directly under the basket. Didn't give himself much of an angle to work with.
Matic pacing over there on the bench, watching his team. Navarro hands it off to Obando, and he's blocked from behind. Kiambao, out it goes, and another jump shot. This one from Belangel.
Yeah, it's autopilot now for the Philippines. They're just going to run through this, give some additional minutes to maybe some more of the role players. That's a smart move, though. The Philippines have looked good coming off that tough loss. I've been impressed. They've moved the ball well. And the important thing is, I don't think they've really changed how they played the game from that loss.
Kiambao scores. He's looked a lot better today.
Yeah, they've looked just across the board. I think there's far more players playing, to their level than we saw in that first game. Obviously an easier opponent in India, but still it's important that they do the job, and that's what they've done here today.
Nayak missing, and 30 taking the contact, gets rid of it. Navarro able to extend and lay it up and in right at the end So with 2:03 remaining, the dam has burst for India. And Philippines taking advantage.
In defense, they are not playing anything. When they are playing zone, we don't know. Where are you? What they? Block the line. He's coming. Block the line. They are not allowed him to coming in a zone. When we are in offense, play longer. Everyone take the ball, immediately want to go. They are block you and then fast break, immediate. First offense, two side. Two side. Moin for him. No, I know. Inside.
Yeah, some truly interesting stats there coming up on your screen. Overall, the Philippines are shooting just shy of 61% from the field. And yes, the Philippines have played well offensively today, but that tells you an awful lot about India's defense, how they're not putting enough pressure on the shooter. And also really, to a certain degree, how much they're giving up inside. 19 from 27, 70% from 2 for Philippines today. Realistically, you'd be happy with anything above 50%, so to be at 70% tells me they played good offense, but India's defense isn't where it needs to be.
Three-pointer, that's good, coming out of the timeout. And Ravina scores, and they give away the three-pointer. Three-point play, rather.
And there's no other way to put it, but that's just poor defense. It's straight out poor. He's positioning off the ball defense. How is he behind Ravina in that situation? His on-court awareness and where he is completely off whack at the moment, and no real surprise that Matches takes him out of the game and gives him a bit of an earful as he heads back down the bench.
Three-point shot is good from Hafiz, so he finally makes another one. Abando comes right back, strokes it from downtown.
And even though the Philippines lead by so many, it tells you a lot about how important this Asia Cup is for them as individuals as well as a team. They just keep chasing. You know, 32 seconds to go in the third quarter. A huge lead, but they want to chase every possession. They want to get more opportunities to score themselves.
Good rebound, and I guess India just go ahead and play. Don't worry about holding it for the last shot. They just want to get the first good shot to run their offense, and they turned it over. Oh, and the lob just out of the reach of Abando. That was released too soon. Doesn't matter, doesn't make it. Well, 3 quarters in the books, and Philippines well on top, 82-43 over India. So India outscored 31-10 in that quarter. 8 threes now overall for the Philippines, 10 more makes inside the arc.
Yeah, it's been a a great performance by the Philippines in that quarter. You know, it was relatively close at the halfway stage. It was an 18-point differential, but the Philippines were, I think the easiest way to say is ruthless on both ends of the floor, limiting India to 10. Their offense just dried up after it looked like it was finding some form in the second quarter. And the Philippines offensively, 31 points, and it's across the board. It's not like one player has absolutely had a phenomenal game. As a team, they've put in a great effort offensively. They've had 10 players now. Sorry, 9 players, no, 10 players score. And just Chu and Abarientos without any points at the moment, but the Philippines will happen. Coach Chop will be happy.
Let's win this quarter. Let's win this quarter.
Hey guys, 10 points sila in that quarter, 10 points.
Courtside 1891 app. Scan in the barcode. You get the stream schedules, scores. Get it in your smartphone now.
And it's now both for these coaches to use this last quarter of action to work on their rotations for the following game. So for India, they face Lebanon, so things don't get any easier for India. But the one that I'm very intrigued with is Philippines against New Zealand on Sunday to close things out. I think those teams have got very similar styles. I think they're both young, want to get out and run. A bit more experience in the Philippines roster, but it could be a very good game, that one.
Yeah, I don't want to say I'm down on New Zealand, but I have been impressed by the Philippines. The only game we saw with New Zealand so far. I mean, we'll see how good they are tonight against Lebanon.
I think I may be too up on New Zealand rather than you being down on them. I think you're kind of in the right place, and I think I may be a little bit too rose-tinted glasses with them.
No, I mean, Pero Cameron said they came here, you know, expecting to win or maybe wanting to win. I can't remember what it was now, but
I think a medal for New Zealand is a tough ask. I think that's a big ask. Quarter-final, I think, would be satisfactory for them, and anything above that would be a bonus.
They're just a very young squad.
Exceptionally young. And that will play out. That will, you know, that will come to the fore when they get in bigger pressure moments.
Oh, nice bounce pass to give and go. Chu fouled as he gets up. So Gotti. No. Yeah, it was on Tomar. Gotti's pretty big as well, isn't he? Stands in there at 2.10 meters in height, 6 feet 11 inches.
Yeah, they're not sure. India aren't short of size, that's for sure. Quite a population size, though, to source your basketball team from, though. Their talent pool isn't exactly shallow.
You mean like the song Shallow?
You'll have to give us a rendition.
I can sing it. I need my wife here to sing it with me, unfortunately.
Okay.
That's a two-person song. Prince gets up on the throne once again. Oh, yeah.
And I
Royal
love that
move.
from Prince. I love that from Prince. He's just not done it enough. We've seen indications of him doing it, but he needs to take a little bit more control. He clearly has that driving game.
Oh. And jump shot, fouled on the jump shot for not the first time today. It's the challenge of wanting to get the hand in the face on the jump shot because the jump shooters are so good, but you simply cannot foul them because that has always been a cardinal sin.
But do you know what it is? It's naivety. At lower levels of basketball, you get away with when someone's shooting, give them a little tap on the side or, you know, fingers into the stomach to try and put them off. At this level, it doesn't ride. Officials can't. They're going to call any contact you make with a shooter in motion, as they should. And it's just naivety at this level from the Indian players.
So that's the fourth foul. Prince, he's going to sit down. Prince, only 19 years of age. So keep it into context.
Yeah, when you look at it, there's, you know, 6 or 7 of these Indian players really are stars of the future. They are clearly work in progress.
Well, I guess Vesel and Matic, you know, coaching them up hard. Good job, Hafiz, and almost got it back. Good hustle by Bando to get it in. He wants it back because he wants to drive. Kim Bao back to a Bando. Now they're passing it around. Oh, no look pass. Yeah, you've got the Kushal Singh, just 17 years of age. You've got Pranav Prince is 19. Aryan, who's 19. Probably a bigger project, but he's taller, and that's usually the case. Rawat, we've talked about him just being 21. Nayak is only 19, so at the end of the day, probably got half his team that could play at the Under-19 World Cup.
Yeah, that's the key.
Well, maybe that's probably overstating it, but second is 20.
For me, the exciting one within that is Pranav Prince. He seems to be the one with the most, well, the highest potential.
Here you go, the 17-year-old driving in. I mean, listen, you know, most 17-year-olds are playing high school basketball, or they're playing for some type of league team back home, and this guy's going up against Chu.
But Chu himself's only 21, so it's really exciting to watch this. So many good young players on the show.
But he's probably playing, he's already playing pro ball, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he's part of Ateneo Blue Eagles.
So are they further behind the Philippines? Yes, but just don't forget these, you know, many of these Indian players that are standing out are good young players. And if they stay the course, figure out how to get these guys the competition that they need.
Yeah.
You know, because...
And if they can, you think about it.
We've seen enough. They're good.
Pranav Prince at the age of 19, he's got another 3 Asia Cups in him.
Yeah.
In his career. What's he going to look like in 12 years' time? If they can get that development right, you know, India could look like a very, very strong team. But the key is, can they get that development right?
Great job. Great hustle. Tomar, the 22-year-old, bumped. Oh, good job by, once again, Kushal Singh, 17-year-old, starting that. So yeah, I'm kind of glad they've got a young team here and they're giving them experience overall.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely right. And you know, I've covered Indian games now for a few years, and you see the development. You see the development. You know, the work that Matic is putting in. Yes, it looks like they're a long way away from where they need to be competitive in the Asia Cup, but they're much further on than they were when this process started. So, you know, I remember us chatting with Coach Matic in Bengaluru at the Women's Asia Cup back in 29, pre-pandemic. I think he'd been in the job not that long, but he's clearly had an impact.
Boy, Navarro open and knocks it down.
Yeah, 2 from 3 from outside for Navarro. And just another one of those players that comes off the bench and does a phenomenal job. 18 points for him now. He leads all scorers.
Hafiz steps back. Tomar, look at that. Good job. Passing it back out. Good job passing. Aryan turns and scores. That ball is actually tapped. Looks like Aryan's struggling to get down the court. I don't know what the deal is. Is it a back issue or is it just...
I'm not sure. He's not been on the floor that much. I haven't seen him pick up an injury.
One thing I'll never forget, a high school coach told me, a football coach, American football coach, I was asking about his team and they were really good, but he was telling me about how some guys show up and they've got to actually teach them how to run. And seriously. And that's the case, isn't it? You forget that. That just made me think of that, watching him run down the floor. 88-51, Philippines on top under 6 minutes remaining. Kushal, and that was a telegraph pass. Uh-oh, look out! Well, If you count the dunk that he had after they'd already blown the whistle, didn't count, he's got 3. And that was looking mighty fine from Lopez. Good bounce pass. Kushel was going up for the dunk and he got blocked by Lopez.
And I like that hustle from Lopez, but even more so for Singh. Kushal Singh going strong to the basket, trying to finish with some aggression is exactly the right thing to do.
Obviously, you got to tip your hat also to, I guess, NBA Academy India for their work with Pranav Prince and Aryan. Kushal makes that one 90-52. Their defeat against New Zealand was 53 points. More decisive, potentially, or maybe not.
No, I have a feeling this one might be actually a bigger lead, depending on how Philippines play out this last 5 or so minutes.
Seems like they've actually played better today, India, though.
Yeah, I think they have. But you've also found, I think that you found a Philippines team who haven't really taken their foot off the gas at all.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, New Zealand's noticeably in that second half were working on different things, running different rotations, and, you know, weren't playing at their optimum, whereas Philippines have just kept going. They've been relentless.
Tamayo, that was short. Krishnan attempted to pull up. Prince. Oh. Kept the ball high, but it was knocked away by Tamayo.
And he can't get disheartened by that. That's the right move for him to make within this team, and they need him to keep doing that.
He might have been able to pull up and shoot a short jumper, but boy, Abarintos.
Coach Matic's volume goes up with his frustration, I think. But I think that stems from the fact that he knows that maybe they can still play a little bit better, even at their current development stage, that this isn't the best that India could be. And that's where, yeah, I think the coach's frustration stems from.
Well, you see him going over there. He's going to coach up his player here. So that's good. To me, that's good coaching. Now, he's upset. He's probably told him this 10 times. But, you know, sometimes it just doesn't sink in for these guys, and they've got to be reminded. But at the end of the day, he's not wasting any opportunity to coach.
No, you're absolutely right. You know, the worst thing from a player's perspective is I don't think many players mind being barked at by coaches as long as the coach follows it up with, I will stop barking at you if you do this. And that's exactly what Coach Matic says. If you do this, you'll be in my good books. That's the key.
Listen, he heard it with, you know, when he was a point guard back in his days at OKK Beograd.
Oh, so, more than likely, I imagine during his playing days, the coaches weren't as polite or as restrained as he is.
Wonder if he was like that with his son, Andrija Matic. He probably was discussing basketball all the time. Here we go. The Bando knocks it in.
Yeah, and India have given up on the defensive end, and it is way too early for them to give up. Still 3 minutes to play. This could be really demoralizing if they don't keep with it.
Pass back outside to Hafiz. Good decision. Oh, good play by Prince. Crashing the boards. Got all types of issues to think about. Conditioning. Here's Prince. That's short.
Yeah, it's the right
foul.
call. You can look at the referee all he wants. It's the right call. He wasn't stationary, he rolled on the screen. That's his 5th foul as well.
So Chu, the first player to foul out of the game.
I know I'm about to jinx this. Have we had a technical foul today in this game? The first game in 3 that we have.
Came close.
It's good. It's the first in 3 games where we haven't.
Yeah, it's been
clean.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, good drive. Good strong drive. Lopez was getting up there trying to get the big rejection. Watch this. Prince is fearless.
Yeah, you know, he is the bright spark within this Indian offense. I think there's still work for him on the defensive end to have an understanding, but offensively, I like what he does, and India need to lean on him more.
He's 19. 1 of 2, and his number's 19 as well. That's what I meant. He's 19 years old, but he's not. I didn't want you to be confused. Here he goes. And there he kept it alive. Arian's just got to get quicker, got to move quicker, recognize things quicker.
Yeah, it's not a bad stat line for Pranav Prince today. 9 points, 4 rebounds,
I'm
2
surprised
blocks.
he's not in double digits.
Yeah, I think he's had the opportunities. He's not shot particularly well. 3 from 11 from the field, but they haven't been bad shot decisions. Just maybe a little lack of technique at time on the execution.
Listen, it's a work in progress. I mean, it's just for all young players, it's a work in progress.
Yeah, absolutely.
Different varying levels. You know, some young guys are ready to go straight to the NBA, straight to go pro in Europe, Philippines, Australia. Some guys maybe haven't played as long and they need more coaching. It's all up to them.
Oh, Bando wasn't far off what would have, I imagine, been the player of the day on that putback. He sprung from outside the key along the baseline to try and find the offensive rebound and throw it down.
Prince gets to the baseline. There you go. He's in double digits.
And that's warranted. That's deserved for what he's put in today.
Lots of headline potential in that name, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a writer's gift, right?
Yeah. Good.
And
Anthems. They're about to get to.
He's been trying to do that for about the last 4 possessions. The crossover and the little step back to get himself the shot away. Unexpected. Tumar stepping up for the 3.
So final minute, I was just looking to see the potential, like the American singer-songwriter, the late Prince, what type of songs might potentially be a good headline. He plays for a team that wears purple waves. All right. Another one for Philippines. They've got 101. And that foul, and Lopez is regretting the foul because he wishes that he could have hustled down the floor to get the dunk. So it's a 42-point lead. So I don't think they're going to surpass, they're going to be beaten.
No, it's 43.
43 now?
Oh, wait a minute. 42 point. Yeah, no, it's 53. So you're absolutely right. They're not going to. It is a step forward, that's for sure. And yeah, they're just going to run the clock out now. There's a differential between shot clock and game clock.
Let's hope that India also
respect the etiquette.
Respect it and not what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Who was it? Chinese? Was
it happened a couple of times. It happened a couple of times. I think it was Korea, or was it Japan? I think it was
Chinese
Japan,
Taipei?
actually.
Yeah, it was Japan. Yeah,
it was Japan. Because we were saying how that was really out of character.
Okay, well, Philippines roll to a 101-59 victory over a much improved India today here in Jakarta.
And if you could just remove that third quarter for India, that would be a far more respectable game. They lost 20, they went down 21 points in that third quarter. And you have to give credit really to the Philippines for that. They came out in the second half and they kind of knew that if they put a little bit of extra exertion into that third quarter early on, that probably wouldn't be enough to blow the game open, and they're absolutely right. That put an end to India's chances of fighting their way back into the game. Philippines will take some positives. They obviously entered the game favourites. Navarro leading them on the scoring with 18. Ravina with 17, Parks with 12. Hafiz scoring most of his from downtown. He ends up with 14 for India, but the Philippines will be happy. It's an expected win, but it also keeps their progression hopes alive. Going 0-2 would have been really, really tough, as it is for India now, as they'll go into their last game.
So, yeah, so again, we've talked about it all game long. India trying to get that experience. They've got young players, and we saw in flashes today, you know, pretty much in every quarter, you know, that see the result of the hard work that they're putting in. But, you know, this is international basketball. You know, you're at the FIBA Asia Cup. You had to qualify to get here, and you had to win an additional qualifying game
yeah,
just to make it this far, where teams like much more accomplished teams are competing, and that's who you're going up against. So all you can do is take full advantage of the coaching that you're getting, and work hard and listen to Coach Matic. And I think he's cognizant of the fact that there's still a lot of work to be done, and he's doing what he can to make these guys better. It's up to them. How good do they want to be?
Yeah, and you know, you're absolutely right. The difficulty is there's no professional athlete, there's no elite athlete that goes to the floor not wanting to win the game. And it still hurts when, you know, for those Indian players, it's still going to hurt that they've lost. It's going to hurt that they've lost by so many. But they need to zoom out personally, on majority of them on their careers. This is early days. And also as a national team program. You know, these players can look at themselves as pioneers, really. They're laying the foundations, not just for themselves, but hopefully for future generations of national teams that will be at a competitive level, will come to Asia Cup with a chance of walking away with a medal, if not the trophy in future years. So it's having the ability to step back from, you know, the 40-point, the 50-point losses that they're suffering at the moment.
Well, having watched India play, I was encouraged by a lot of, in a similar way, by some of the Indian players in Lebanon, and I'm not exactly sure what's, you know, where those guys are in the frame of the national team program, but at the end of the day, these guys, I think, are younger and hoping to take that next step. So hopefully this will be a good experience for them. But Philippines win it, so they're up at the top now with 1-1. New Zealand and Lebanon, however, playing the battle of unbeatens tonight. India dropped to 0-2. So that is shaping up to be a big one. The Tall Blacks going up against the Cedars. So the Philippines in the FIBA Asia Cup, bouncing back from their opening night defeat to Lebanon. India putting in a much better performance. Maybe doesn't show in the score, but a lot better play from the Indians. Philippines win it.